Hello, my name is Kedar Ahmed and you're watching RPTV. Today, we'll be bringing you a report from the Solidarity Rally and Freedom Walk for Gaza, which took place on November the 3rd at 3 p.m. in front of Nelson Mandela Park Public School at 55 Regent Park Boulevard. The vibrant gathering convened at the intersection of St. David Street and Regent Park Boulevard, where a rented UHAUL pickup truck served as a makeshift stage for a series of impassioned speakers. In Regent Park, a significant number of people are of Muslim background, originating from Pakistan, Africa, and the Middle East. As newcomers, they may face challenges related to cultural practices, religious beliefs, and potentially low income residing in social housing. The struggles in countries like Afghanistan, Iraq, Sudan, and other Muslim nations where interventions by non-Muslim countries occur often invoke sympathy. The Israeli-Hamas conflict serves as one of these contentious issues. The situation involves a complex interplay of cultural, religious, economic, and geopolitical factors contributing to the experiences and perspectives of the Muslim community in Regent Park. Themes of colonialism, apartheid, oppression, and racism reverberated throughout the speeches, drawings connections between settler attitudes in Canada towards Indigenous people, the historical mistreatment of Black population in Africa by white Europeans, and the struggles faced by Palestinian communities at the hands of Israel settlers. Now let's go and see how the rally went.
Is an Anishinaabe queen. She is from the host nation, the Anishinaabe nation that we're gathered on today. Give it up for Morningstar is a mom to 4 beautiful children, and one of her kids were stolen by Child and Family Services of Toronto, and she's currently fighting to get her child back. Yay! Morningstar is also an incredible warrior who has been holding space at the Land Back and Children Back Camp at Island Gardens for the past over a year she's been there. I'm gonna give it over to Morningstar.
I just wanted to acknowledge today that we share similar stories here. And I just wanted to say that from Turtle Island to Palestine, occupation is a crime. And with that, I've been holding space for over a year now because they continue to steal our children. The residential school system never stops. It continues today. It's called the foster removal system. And my daughter is part of the Millennium Scoop. She's 6 years old and is being raised by Jaganash people, white people. This is to kill the Indian within the child. So this legacy still continues today. This is part of genocide. Genocide happens here today in Canada. And I just want to acknowledge the horror that's happening along Gaza right now. And to acknowledge that there are many people, many children that have been killed. Innocent lives are being stolen right now. All in the name of greed. So we're here to open this up in a good way. And to acknowledge that it's hard to hold space in a country that has tried to colonize us. Just this morning, I had police and Toronto bylaw officers harassing for no reason. Yay! We are doing nothing. It's a fire that burns for our families, our children, our survivors, and our people. Many of our people are out on the streets right now. They're houseless on Turtle Island, which is not right. And this is happening. And, you know, like, the thing is like, I see that, you know, Canadians are moving ahead of us. And it's not right, what's happening. But I acknowledge that what's happening in Palestine right now is really horrible, and it shouldn't be happening at all. Especially, like, I look at these kids, and, you know, you think about how young these children are that are dying over there. And it's terrible. It's a shame. They did that to us too. They stole our children and they killed them. There are still unmarked graves. Our children have not yet to be found. Shame. Who builds cemeteries and schools? Shame. Shame. But I stand here with you. I stand here with Kiwatning, and we're going to do a song and to open this up in a good way. And I say good luck to your march today. And I just want to say Akanagana, and that means to all my relations. Miigwech.
Can everyone hear me? Yes. Let's make some noise for the welcome song we just got from the Anishinaabe Queens here. From Turtle Island to Palestine.
Occupation is a crime.
From Turtle Island to Palestine.
Occupation is a crime.
From Turtle Island to Palestine.
Occupation is a crime.
And we also are going to add genocide is a crime. From Turtle Island to Palestine!
Genocide is a crime.
I can't hear you guys. Come on. More louder. We want children in Gaza to hear us. From Turtle Island to Palestine!
Genocide is a crime.
From Turtle Island to Palestine!
Genocide is a crime.
From Turtle Island to Palestine!
Genocide is a crime.
My heart is so full to see all the people who have come together out of the goodness of their heart to stand here today for the people of Palestine and for the children of Gaza. I have to tell you a little bit about what prompted us to gather here today. The school that we're standing in front of, Nelson Mandela Park Public School, is named after the great South African anti-colonial, anti-apartheid freedom fighter, Nelson Mandela! Woo! But it is so sad that in the aftermath of the indiscriminate collective bombing of the Palestinian people and children, the school has remained silent. Shame on the TDSB! Shame, let's go! Shame on the TDSB! Shame on the TDSB! Shame on the TDSB! Shame on the TDSB!
Shame on the TDSB! Shame on the TDSB!
We wrote to the school, we sent them the flyer for the event, and still no response.
Anti-Palestinian racism!
This is anti-Palestinian racism! Shame! As we grieve collectively as a community, Palestinians and non-Palestinian allies, the silence is a betrayal of all of our humanity, of the humanity of the Palestinian children. And we will not sit here and be spectators to this dehumanization. We will keep showing up in front of the school and at TDSB locations to demand that our children's lives and safety and humanity be respected. Our children are not just things to be bombed. When I say Justin Trudeau, you say blood on your hands, and I'm going to name a couple of politicians and you just have to say blood on your hands, because these are all the politicians that have sat there as children continue to be bombed in Gaza. Justin Trudeau! Justin Trudeau! Justin Trudeau! Emmanuel Macron! Emmanuel Macron! 4,000! 4,000! 1, 2, 3. These are not just numbers. These are children. Look around you. There's just maybe 100 of us, and more people are joining. These are children, like the children here. Children should not just be bombed. Children should be loved. Children should be protected. Children should be cared for. And when they're under attack, schools that are named after Nelson Mandela should be protected and speaking out. A school like Nelson Mandela needs to speak out and stand on the side of justice and not on the side of genocide. TDSB needs to stop standing up on the side of genocide. Olivia Chow needs to stop standing on the side of genocide. Doug Ford needs to stop standing up on the side of genocide. Justin Trudeau needs to call for a siege and stop standing on the side of genocide. I'm going to now invite Gaza Sasa. I hope I've said your name correctly. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Gaza is a third-generation Palestinian refugee. She's an activist scholar completing her PhD in political science at McMaster University. Give it up for Gaza!
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out today and for the incredibly powerful speeches. Give it up for yourselves. So my name is Rada, and my father comes from the city of Ramle, based in what's now called Israel, but is actually 1948 Palestine. His family was expelled by Israel back in 1948. My mother comes from a village near Nablus called Mandela. Just yesterday, the Israeli soldiers invaded it with the settlers. They firebombed a car. This is the kind of terror we've been living under since 1948. A lot of my father's side of the family was when they got expelled from Ramle by Israel. A lot of them sought refuge in Gaza. And 2 weeks ago, I've already had 46 members of my father's side of the family martyred by Israel. It's difficult to express our grief and our anger. Just today, Israel has massacred people at the entrance of a hospital. They bombed 3 hospitals just today. Israel's already martyred about 9,000 Palestinians in Gaza, half of whom are children. This is a war on children, and it is shameful that Canada continues to support this apartheid murderous regime. Usually when I see schools with names like Nelson Mandela Park, I cringe because I know that these schools are often tools of oppression, and they're just names to whitewash the genocide we see happening here and back home. But here, this gathering today is actually having this school live up to its name. This community is redeeming. This school, as we know, until today, South Africa is one of our strongest allies because they've been through apartheid. Despite all the trauma, we need to know that we have power in our numbers. There's more of us standing on the side of justice, and we need to keep pushing this government, not only until they sanction Israel and until they recognize Israel as an apartheid state, but also until they stop their genocide against indigenous people here. We seize our imperialist operations. We need to keep coming together as a community, just like back in 2003, when we had about 80,000 to 100,000 people filling the streets in Toronto to make sure Canada didn't go to Iraq. Tomorrow there's going to be a huge unity rally. Every one of you needs to be there. And we're not going to stop until Canada becomes a place of justice, until this settler colonial regime is dismantled here. So let's keep mobilizing, shouting loud and proud about our fight for justice. And please feel free to connect with me if you're interested in organizing. And together we're gonna win. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Gaza! Free, free Gaza! Free, free Gaza! Free, free Gaza! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Gaza! Stop bombing Gaza! Israel and USA! Israel and USA! How many kids did you kill today? How many kids did you kill today? Canada and USA! Canada and USA! How many kids did you kill today? How many kids did you kill today? Just today, Israel released hundreds of Palestinians that were holding hostage for the last 3 weeks, where they were torturing them using electric chairs and beating them and placing like bracelets on them with numbers. The Israeli regime is committing another Holocaust, another genocide against the Palestinians, and it is shameful that we are watching the massacres happen live and do nothing about it. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Gaza! Free, free Gaza! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Gaza! Free, free Gaza! Fight the power, turn the tide! Fight the power, turn the tide! End Israeli
I'm going to invite a Palestinian youth, Ravan, who's a community organizer with the Palestinian Youth Movement. Let's go! Give it up for the Palestinian Youth Movement in Ravan! Woo! The PYM is a grassroots transnational organization that serves to mobilize Palestinians and Arabs in the far diaspora in taking an active role in the struggle for national liberation. Now let's give it up for Ravan! Let's go!
Thank you. So I'm going to start with a chant and just repeat after me. From the river to the sea! 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 Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! 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 Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! I'm going to do another one, and we know that currently there are over 9,000 martyrs that have been murdered by the Zionist Israeli regime. Shame! So we're going to do a chant to honor our martyrs, so just repeat after me. We will honor all our martyrs! 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 All our mothers, fathers, all our parents, mothers, fathers! 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 We will honor all our martyrs! We will honor all our martyrs! All our parents, mothers, fathers! All our parents, mothers, fathers! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Gaza! Free, free Gaza! We want everyone today to hear us saying free, free Gaza! 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 Give yourselves a big round of applause. So my name is Rawan. I'm with the Palestinian Youth Movement. We're a group of youth that are making sure that our voices are heard, that we are taking an active role in making sure that the end of this genocide happens and making sure that we continue to ensure that we are out on the streets every single day, every single week, just like all of you are doing today. It's really, really incredible to see so many kids today that are ready to stand up against genocide. I want to say that at y'all's age, I was not doing the things that y'all are doing. You should be so incredibly proud of yourselves. You should be proud of your parents, proud of everyone here that has brought y'all together to be able to really showcase to the Toronto community that we're not going to shut up about genocide. We're not going to stay quiet about what's happening to Palestinians in Gaza, Palestinians in the West Bank. There are over 9,000 martyrs. There's children right now under the bombing that has happened. There's children that we don't even know how many people are under the rubble right now. We had a vigil last week, and I hope that some of the folks here were there, and we were talking about how a 7-day-old baby was martyred. She was 7 days old. So these are the things that we're talking about. These are the people that are being martyred. Just yesterday, I read a report that also said a 1-day-old baby. So they were born, and then they were martyred the very next day. And the fact that Our government, our so-called Canadian government, continues to support this genocide. Not only does it continue to just let it go, they're supporting it. Just 2 weeks ago, Doug Ford and all his constituents basically voted 78-0 to keep the genocide, to keep Israel's right to defend itself. I see a sign that says bombing kids is not self-defense, and yet the Canadian government is actively promoting the bombing of children, promoting an ongoing genocide. And you know what? They're continuing to do it. They're continuing to say that we are in the wrong, and we're going to keep showing the world that we are not in the wrong, and y'all are the ones that are going to keep this up. I also want to say that not only do they come out and it's Justin Trudeau and Olivia Chow and Doug Ford that are promoting this genocide, but it's also the fact that Canada sends $36 million to fund the Israeli military. Every single year, $36 million is being sent to bomb children, to bomb our people, and you know what? Of course we know this did not start a week ago or a month ago or on October 7th or anything like that. This started 75 years ago, and this is the 6th bombing campaign that Gaza has had to endure. This is every single year, every single Ramadan, they bomb Gaza every single time. This is the 6th time. Shame! So I just want to quickly say that, you know, if there's a ceasefire tomorrow, we're still not going to stop going out into the streets. If we're going to keep demanding a ceasefire, we're going to demand the lifting of the siege on Gaza that has imprisoned our people for 17 years. Our people are imprisoned by land, air, and sea for 17 years. Shame! We demand a ceasefire. We demand the lifting of the siege on Gaza. We demand that humanitarian aid is let into Gaza. And we demand that the Canadian government and its Canadian complicity ends now. So we'll do a chant to make sure that our demands are heard. Lift the siege on Gaza now!
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 Now all together, ceasefire now! 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 Ceasefire now!
Waleed is known for his work with residents from all backgrounds to create safe, inclusive, sustainable communities that are free from discrimination and hate. Let's give it up for Waleed. That's important work.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to start off with a chant, and it goes like this. End the occupation! Ceasefire now! End the occupation!
Ceasefire now!
End the occupation!
Ceasefire now!
End the occupation!
Ceasefire now!
So my friends, I'm going to give you some context to why we're here outside Nelson Mandela Park Public School. A school that's very close to my heart. I know a lot of my neighbors have gone to this school. But I want you to remember the legacy of Madiba, Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was quoted many times connecting the call for justice to the Palestinian people and the call for justice in South Africa. Remember, South Africa was in an apartheid state until the 90s. Can you believe that? How long was that ago? That was a couple of decades ago, so it's very recent, right? And I want to remind all of you that our Canadian government designated Nelson Mandela as a terrorist. I want to remind you that our Canadian government, with its Western allies, designated the African National Congress, the ANC, as a terrorist organization. So, why was that? Was because our Canadian government, our system is founded on white supremacy. It's a settler colonial state. And South Africa was also a settler colonial state, right? Until brave people of conscience started speaking out against this horrific apartheid regime. Now, I also went to the University of Toronto, and I was elected the president of the Students' Union. And when I was doing my research about U of T, you know what really made me upset? You know what really made me sad? Was the University of Toronto was one of the last institutions to divest from apartheid South Africa. So students' tuition fees and whatever money they were able to save up went to protecting a white supremacist apartheid state. But courageous students, courageous young minds, young people shifted the conversation. And they shifted the conversation by focusing on divestment, boycott, and sanctions. So have you all heard of the boycott, divestment, and sanctions? BDS was one of the most effective and peaceful, I want to remind everyone, effective and peaceful tools that brought down the apartheid regime in South Africa down. So, we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity today to say no to apartheid within the state of Israel. We have an opportunity to not just keep quiet and be complicit while our media covers this conflict in an unbalanced way. And in fact, I'm going to introduce you a chant. Remember this. Whenever the media lies, a neighborhood in Gaza dies. So repeat it with me. Whenever the media lies, a neighborhood in Gaza dies. Say it again. Whenever the media lies, a neighborhood in Gaza dies. And I'll tell you why I'm so passionate about telling our story and making sure that our media does not get to pick a side by portraying everyone of conscience who's calling for peace and justice as a supporter of terrorism. Because they did that when Nelson Mandela was in jail. Remember? If you supported Nelson Mandela, if you supported the ANC, you were a terrorist. So that is an important takeaway for everyone to remember. But now I want to bring it back to something more important. And that is how this conflict originated. You know, we talked about Israel being an apartheid state, a settler colonial state. But let's remember this. Have you all heard of the Balfour Declaration? Yes. You've heard of the Balfour Declaration? Yes. Good. You should read that declaration. So for almost 100, how many years now? This is 107, so this is 101. Someone do the quick math for me. 130 years almost. Oh my goodness. a promise was made by the British government to resettle Jews in Israel when there was a Palestinian population living in that area. Have you all heard of the Nakba?
Yeah!
Okay, I'm going to ask a quick question. How many Palestinians were expelled during the Nakba?
30,000.
750,000 people overnight were displaced, were told to leave their homeland. And now, in 2023, I wouldn't even call him Prime Minister, Netanyahu, that war criminal,
Oh my God!
Netanyahu wants to displace over 1 million people from Gaza. This is more people than the Nakba. This is going to be the worst Nakba we'll ever experience in modern time. So today, we want not just your support, but your help. We're going to be marching from here to the British consulate. No, we're not going to come marching. Okay. I thought we were marching to the British consulate. But what we want to do is we want to spread awareness around the community about the origins of the conflict, about the importance of standing side by side for justice, and most importantly, we want your help to raise awareness about an action tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a big important action outside the U.S. consulate. It's a unity action. People from all backgrounds, all nations are gonna come together and say, we need to end the genocide.
We need to end the genocide.
We need a ceasefire now.
We need a ceasefire.
We need to end the occupation.
We need to end the occupation.
So let's all do this chant. End the occupation.
End the occupation.
Ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now.
End the occupation.
End the occupation.
Ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now.
So I want to thank all of you for coming out today. I want to encourage you to speak out. I know it's not easy to speak out. I know it's hard when you're worried about your job, or you're worried about a promotion, or you're worried about the consequences of speaking up. But if we all were deeply concerned about speaking the truth, what world, what life are we living? What future are we living for the young, brilliant minds that live with us today? So challenge every person who is being quiet, who thinks, oh, this conflict happens all the time. Tell them, no, this time it's different. We have an opportunity to stand for justice and reject a white supremacist apartheid state. We have a chance to build a better future where children don't need to live in a concentration camp in Gaza. End the occupation! Ceasefire now! End the occupation!
Ceasefire now.
End the occupation!
Ceasefire now.
End the occupation! Ceasefire now! End the occupation! Ceasefire now! I'd like to invite two children up here who have letters to read. So we have a student from Nelson Mandela Park. Who wrote a letter. This letter tells us what a student at the school feels. So I'm going to give it over to the student, okay? Here. Give it up for the students at the school! Oh.
Israel is killing little kids like me in Gaza, Palestine. Their homes are being bombed. Israel is killing their parents and families. In the last 27 days, nearly 4,000 Palestinian kids have been bombed to death. This is a genocide. This is not okay. To our principal, Sanyal, and Prime Minister Trudeau, how would you feel if your parents, or kids, or your sister, or your brother, or your cousins, or your grandchildren were murdered like that? Kids in Gaza are writing their names on their arms and legs. They are preparing to be identified when killed by Israeli bombs. These are bombs that continue to be given to Israel by countries around the world like the U.S. For the sake of all kids in Palestine, this needs to stop. End the siege on Gaza now.
End the siege on Gaza now.
Cease fire now.
Cease fire now.
Israel, Netanyahu, everyone who is standing with Israel and supporting this genocide, just stop it. And stop it right now. Israel is stealing Palestinian land. Palestine never said that Israel could take over it. Leave, Israeli settlers. You must give the land back to the indigenous Palestinian people. There is no peace on stolen land. Now to our school. You have failed the kids in Palestine. You have failed us kids here. You have failed the Palestinian community here in Nelson Mandela Park Public School and Regent Park. Stop your silence. I want my school to stop lying about what is happening and acting like everything is fine. Things are not fine. They are not fine in Palestine, and they are not fine here. You are letting us kids down. Now to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. You are on the side of genocide. You have been standing with the Zionist state of Israel. You know what I say to Prime Minister Trudeau? I say, Prime Minister Trudeau, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide.
Justin Trudeau, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Justin Trudeau, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide.
You are complicit in this crime against Palestine.
Shame.
I am hurt. I am angry. I am sad. I am upset. I am tired of having to come to protest after school constantly instead of being able to play and rest. I am seeing you still ignoring us, Prime Minister Trudeau. So I will keep coming out until the kids and families in Gaza and Palestine are safe and free. I want all of us here to continue to show up and fight against this genocide, occupation, and apartheid. As a Kashmiri kid, I say, from Kashmir to Palestine, occupation is a crime!
From Kashmir to Palestine, occupation is a crime!
From Turtle Island to Palestine, occupation is a crime!
From Turtle Island to Palestine, occupation is a crime!
Palestinian children matter. They deserve to be safe. I'll end this with a quote from the great South African anti-colonial, anti-apartheid freedom fighter our school is named after, Nelson Mandela. He said, "We know too well that our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of the Palestinians." Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine! End the siege on Gaza now!
End the occupation now!
End the occupation now!
End the occupation Ceasefire now! 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 Ceasefire now!
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And please follow our social media platforms. And for more information, please visit our website.